Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Little French Homestead. If you are new to my channel today, welcome. We're going to be talking about the 10 pantry staples that you need to have in your homestead kitchen. We have all been sold on that beautiful lie about homesteading. You've seen those pictures. You got that perfect farm, the sun-drenched kitchen, a homesteader that is blissfully stirring that pot that's been on the stove since dawn. Well, the lie is that this lifestyle changes you to your kitchen, forcing you to spend hours on every single meal. We bought into it completely, and honestly, we're exhausted. We keep wondering how anyone could possibly keep this up. Well, we figured it out. A well-run homestead isn't about spending more time cooking, it's about being smarter with your time. The secret isn't a bigger garden or more complicated recipes. It's a smaller, more strategic pantry with just a handful of core ingredients. And we can get a wholesome, from scratch dinner on our table in under 30 minutes. Even on those days when the chores feel endless, this isn't about prepping for your apocalypse. It's about prepping for a Tuesday night when you are just plain tired and hungry. So today we're going to be showing you what a real homestead kitchen looks like. It's not always about the endless canning and the complex ferments. That part is fun for sure. But it's not about the daily grind. The reality is building a system that serves you and gives you your time back. We're going to walk through the 10 fundamental staples that can make all of this possible. These are the workhorses of our pantry and the backbone of countless quick meals. If you are new to this or just busy family trying to eat better without living in the kitchen, this one is for you. This is how to reclaim your time and still eat like a homesteader. First up is this staple that can totally change your game when it comes to quick meals. And it is about most people think of for only breakfast. These rolled oats. And no, though those little instant sugary packs, we're talking plain old-fashioned rolled oats. They are incredibly versatile, super budget friendly, and a powerhouse of nutrition. Stored correctly in a cool, dry place, they typically can last for about 1 to 2 years, making them a seriously reliable player in the pantry. Of course, they can make a fantastic quick breakfast. Warm up a bowl of oatmeal is filling to start any day. You can even make overnight oats before so you can have zero morning cook time. They are a real genius on how they work beyond breakfast. We can use rolled oats as a binder and an extender in so many savory dishes. Making meatloaf, meatballs, or even burgers. Add a half a cup of oats to your ground beef. Not only as it helps hold everything together, but it also adds some moisture and some fiber. And all while stretching a pound of precious meat to feed a few more people. In the old school trick, it saves money and it bumps up nutrition without anyone tasting a difference. And you can also grind them into a fine flour and blend them to thicken some soups and some stews in a pinch. And it can add a creamy texture and some real substance. Next is more of a category than a single item. A high-quality, versatile cooking fat in our kitchen, so we have a few options, but you can definitely start with just one. Whether it's butter, olive oil, coconut oil, lard, or tallow, a go-to fat is completely non-negotiable. Think about it. Every meal from scratch starts with sautéing some vegetables to frying an egg, starts with a fat in the pan. Without it, you're not really cooking. We prioritize fats that can pull double or even triple duty. A good olive oil, for instance, is perfect for salad dressings and drizzling over those final dishes. But it is also great for a gentle saute. For the high heat cooking, we often turn to lard or tallow, which we render ourselves from our own animals. Traditional fats are incredibly stable and have a high smoke point that gives food an amazing flavor. They are what our great grandparents used, and they're making a huge comeback for a good reason. Coconut oil is another solid choice with a long shelf life. The key is to pick a fat that fits your cooking style and store it in a cool, dry place to keep it fresh. This simple staple is the foundation of flavor and a real starting point for getting dinner on the table fast. Number 3 is all-purpose flour. Now, in a world of whole grains is amazing, but if you just have to pick one flour to get started, make it simple. Unbleached all-purpose flour is a jack of all trades in a busy homestead kitchen. Its job goes way beyond baking that perfect loaf of sourdough, which is a lovely weekend project, but not in a 30-minute meal. On a hectic weeknight, flour is your secret weapon for speed. You can whip up a batch of 2-ingredient pasta with just flour and eggs. You can make quick flatbreads or tortillas in a cast iron skillet that's going to go with the super chili. Flour is also a key to a fast pan sauce. After you sear your piece of chicken or your pork, sprinkle a tablespoon of flour into some pan, stir it with the drippings, and you can make a quick roux. Add a little bit of broth and some milk, and you now have a creamy, flavorful gravy in under 5 minutes. This is how you can turn a simple piece of meat into a real meal. It is the thickener for a long-lasting stew or for a quick cobbler. Having a bag of all-purpose flour means that you are always just a few minutes away from creating something substantial. Staple number 4 is beans. You can have both canned and dried. Dried beans is one of the most cost-effective, long-lasting sources of protein you can possibly have. A 1-pound bag of dried beans can be the foundation for several family meals, all just for a few dollars. While cooking dried beans does take time, we often cook a big batch on the weekends, and then we can use them in quick meals all week long. But for a true 30-minute magic, we always have canned beans on hand. For us, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans are the holy trinity. With a can of chickpeas, you can whip up some hummus, roast them for a crunchy salad topper, or mash them into a veggies sandwich for the filling. A can of black beans can become a quick burrito bowl with the rice and salsa. You can blend them up into a hearty black bean soup in about 15 minutes. Canned beans are also packed with protein and fiber, making any meal more filling and nutritious. They are the definition of a dinner saver and perfectly bridged the gap between long-term food storage and everyday convenience. At number 5, we have some rice. Rice is the ultimate blank canvas of the food world, an absolute must in any working pantry. It is a chameleon, able to form the base for countless meals from all over the world. We keep both white and brown rice handy, even though white rice has a longer shelf life, which is great for storage, but brown rice offers more nutrients for your everyday meals. And here is just one of our biggest time-saving hacks. If you always have cooked rice on hand, just like with beans, we can often cook a large pot of rice at the start of the week. That rice can be leftovers and be turned instantly into a quick fried rice with some eggs, some frozen veggies, and some soy sauce. It can be a base for those black bean burritos that we were just mentioning. You can also serve it along with a quick curry or a simple piece of pan-seared fish. Even if you don't have any cooked rice, a pot of rice can only take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook, and that's the perfect amount of time to prep the rest of your meals. It stretches meals, adds substance, and makes sure no one leaves the table hungry. If we had to pick one canned good item to stock above all others, it would be this number 6, canned tomatoes. Specifically, we stock diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and tomato paste. This trio is a flavor foundation for an instant number of quick meals. If you have canned tomatoes, you are never more than 20 minutes away from a delicious sauce. A can of crushed tomatoes, sauteed with a little bit of garlic and some dried herbs, can become the perfect pasta sauce in the time it takes to boil the water. Diced tomatoes can be thrown into a pot with some beans and spices for a quick chili or even a taco soup. And tomato paste. That's concentrated gold. A single use to make it a fast pizza sauce for homemade pizza nice. The acidity and sweetness of tomatoes can brighten up an otherwise boring dish. Having these on your shelf means you can skip the store-bought stuff, which are often loaded with sugar, and create something way more flavorful and wholesome in a few minutes. The next one might feel like it's cheating, but on a homestead you learn fast that efficiency isn't cheating, it is survival. At number 7 is garlic and onion powder. Of course, we don't grow it ourselves, but you are welcome to go ahead and do that. Peeling garlic, though, when you are beat is sometimes the last thing you want to do. So garlic powder and onion powder are your flavoring shortcuts. These two provide a savory base for almost anything. Sprinkle them into some ground meat for instant flavor. Whisk them into some oil and vinegar for a zippy salad dressing. They're essential for a quick dry rub for your chicken or pork before it hits the pan. They add a layer of flavor to soups and stews without any prep time. While fresh is fantastic, the goal sometimes is just to get the meal on the table fast. These dried aromatics are consistent, they last flavor forever, and they deliver a fundamental flavor that makes a dish taste like it's been simmering for hours when it's only 15 minutes. Number 8. It is the most basic but most essential and somehow the most overlooked staple of all, salt. Without salt, the food flavor profile is bland. It's that simple. But salt doesn't just make food salty, it amplifies and balances all other flavors. It makes sweet things taste sweeter, and it can cut bitterness. A pantry could have all 9 other items on this list, but without salt, your quick meals will just fall flat. We also use salt at every stage of cooking. We salt the water for boiling pasta. We salt the meat before cooking it to help it stay moist and flavorful. We salt the vegetables as they saute to draw out the water and concentrate their taste. A final sprinkle of flaky salt on a finished dish adds a great texture and a final pop of flavor. We keep the fine salt for the general cooking, and we do the coarser salt for finishing. It is the cheapest, most effective flavor enhancer you will ever own, period. Staple number 9 is acid, usually in the form of vinegar. You have balsamic vinegar and white wine, and they are fantastic to have around. And acid is the secret ingredient that brightens and lifts the flavor of dishes. If you have ever made something that might taste a little heavy or one-dimensional, it probably just needs a quick splash of acid. A drizzle of vinegar into a rich stew can cut through the fat and make the whole thing just taste a little lighter. It is a key component in any homemade vinaigrette, which is always better and cheaper than the store-bought stuff. Sometimes we use it to quick pickle garden vegetables, thinly slice some onions or radishes, and they can become a tangy, crunchy topping for your tacos or your sandwiches in just about 15 minutes. It can also deglaze a pan, create a wonderful marinade, or add a tangy kick to some pot of beans. A bottle of vinegar is long-lasting, inexpensive tool that acts like a magic wand for flavor, waking up everything it touches. Finally, number 10 is the natural sweetener. Like honey or maple syrup, we use them for the obvious things like sweetening tea or drizzling on oatmeal. But their real power is in the balance of savory dishes. A little sweetness can balance the acid in the tomato sauce or salt in a marinade, and honey has a wild shelf life. We're talking practically indefinite. While you might have heard some stories about the archaeologists finding still edible honey in the Egyptian tombstones, that's more of a legend than confirmed fact. Still, the point is, properly stored honey lasts for an incredibly long time. A spoonful of honey or maple syrup is a key ingredient in so many homemade barbecue sauces, salad dressings, and glazes. A simple glaze of honey, soy sauce, and garlic can turn a plain chicken breast meal into something amazing. It helps with caramelization, giving you that beautiful brown crust on those roasted veggies or the meat. It's not just about making things sweet, it's about adding complexity and balance to your cooking, which is the mark of a truly great meal, no matter how fast you made it. So there you have it, the 10 staples that are the engine for our 30-minute homestead kitchens. It is not a complete list, but is the most powerful place to start. It is the system built for real life for the days when you're busy and you just need to get a good meal on the table. A well-stocked pantry isn't about having everything, but it's about having the right things and about giving yourself the tool to cook with ease and confidence. Now we want to hear from you. What is your go-to pantry staple? That one ingredient that saves you on a busy night. Let me know in the comments. Your idea might be helpful to some people that might need to reclaim their evenings as well. Remember, this is a lifestyle and is about building something that is resilient and sustainable. If you like this video and you would like to see more, please go ahead, like, share, but most importantly, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, keep on cooking. Bye.